Morning, Lawrence.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Fantastic.
I'm very happy to be here in this nice, beautiful view. And I'm really honored to have this time with you. I will to introduce you to our listener and also our followers.
Thank you.
Lorenzo is one of the leading sculptor in the world. We see your work in a lot of places. We see it in Vienna, London, Qatar. Also, the last was in Abu Dhabi Art.
Yes.
And really, when you come to this place and see it, you get really emotional. Whether you like it or not, there is something in you that moves. So before we know more about you, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Haifa Al-Mubarak. I am a UAE, a psychologist, and I am one of the luckiest, as you are, because I work with what I love. So my passion is in coaching, assessing, and training people. At the end of the day, you create a very nice work, and we create a very nice people.
Amazing. It's so lucky to work at one's passion, because in a way you're never working because you're doing what you love to do. So I often think about that, how lucky I am.
And we would like to know more about you. Like, who are you? If you have to introduce yourself.
Well, I am a person that's passionate about life, and I've always been passionate about humanity and human emotions and finding what we have in common rather than what separates us. And I've always tried to materialize these thoughts and emotions into form, which is not always the easiest thing to do, because you're trying to materialize something that's not really tangible. Because how do you express in form love or pain or life or death and all these human events and emotions that are part of our daily life?
Okay, and I noticed, all your art is touching on these things, you know? And as a coach, as a psychologist, I cannot just pass by them without really questioning them. And that's what we try to do on people, to question their emotion, their feeling, they have a lot of potential. The way they talk to themselves is very important. So each one of your work really remind me of something. Like, for example, if I look in the one behind me, it is about communication.
Exactly.
If I look about this, it is about hope. So I want to start with the hands.
Yes.
Because you are very famous for your sculpture and hands.
Yes.
What does hand explain, or what does hand means to you?
I think it's the simplest way of communication.
Mm-hmm.
I make art for the people. And so I want it to be understood by the people. I don't know, do you speak Chinese?
No, I wish.
Okay. So if I were to give you a book written in Chinese, well, you would probably appreciate it for the graphic design, but you would not be able to understand it unless somebody translated it to you.
True.
So what I try to do with my art is I try to speak to you in a common language, but I try to do it on a universal level. I want everybody to be able to understand me, from all backgrounds, by the way, not all races, all backgrounds, all faiths. So I realized years ago that possibly the best way to do that was by using gestures, hand gestures, because I think that those are universal. There are some gestures that are universal. In fact, interesting enough, I wanted to do an exhibition about just hand gestures, because some of them, not a lot, but there are some that in one country means one thing and another country means another. But in general, gestures is a fantastic way of communicating with people. If you travel to a country and you don't speak the language, somehow through hand gestures you can make yourself understood.
So for you, hands is communication.
It's communication.
And it's very interesting because for us also communication is essential. Communication within yourself and communication with the outer, world. So, as I said, when I see all your work, I see this energy. I see myself in your work, like as I'm coaching, but I'm not coaching because your art is coaching me. It is a vice versa, which is really a very nice
It's
feeling.
interesting is a lot of these sculptures, which are some of them are about patience, about time, about living the moment. I have a lot of sculptures about living the moment and appreciating the day by day, and love and communication. They're all traits that I can relate to that probably I'm deficient in. So I'm the first learner of my own sculptures.
Okay.
I'm the one that tries to learn from them. But I think that they are common to a lot of people. And so then I decide to make that into a sculpture.
I think this is a very big talent, really. I mean, to put things in words is difficult. How about to put it in art? It's even more difficult. And I would like to know more about your creative, like how does it start, the process, of a creative. And I know when we were here with the art circle, you mentioned that you start with a word, emotion, and then you put it in an artwork.
Yes, there is no standard way for me creating art. It really is that eureka moment where it could come from anything. It could come from a conversation I'm having with somebody that maybe that somebody's not even aware that they just sparked a new idea. Maybe they just said a word. We were having a conversation about whatever, about love, about peace, about humanity, about time. And something that is said in that conversation makes me think of an artwork. That's one way. Another way is reading books. Usually, I get a lot of ideas from books. I love reading psychology and philosophy. And interesting enough, I get a lot of ideas when I'm flying, especially international flights because they're long and we're not connected to social media or anything. And so I really can take the time to absorb myself. So basically, I think our mind is a funnel. I take all this information that is coming to us all day, and at a certain point, I'm able to some things catch them and turn them into art. But some pieces I've been wanting to say some things for a long time, but I haven't found the way to say them. So some sculptures, it's taking me like years.
You see, something attracts me when you say the word, because words can really affect us either in the positive way or in the negative way. So if we keep talking to ourselves,
Correct.
You empower yourself, like you are strong, you are capable. Same time, we can destroy ourselves.
Yes.
So really the effect of words, and you have mentioned it at the beginning, like it is something somebody trigger something in you when he used certain word or certain proverb. It could be anything. So yeah, we are in full synergy when it comes to words because we believe in it. And that's what we try to talk about when we talk about positive psychology.
Interesting, because in the morning, I usually put a morning, I have subscribed to certain channels on YouTube, these morning meditations, and a lot of them speak about how important this is. And it's true. It is so important, especially to start the day in that way, in a positive way, not access immediately your social media or your emails or everything, but take a moment to, first of all, thank the fact that it's another day and that you're alive and that you're well and in the world.
Gratitude.
Gratitude is very important, and appreciate yourself. Self-love also is very important.
True.
Very important. And it's important to say these things out loud.
Yeah.
Very important. Not just think them, but say them.
True. It makes it more real.
Yes.
Because it is in your mind, but once you pronounce it, you buy in it more. And I mean, I like the idea that you start your day with something positive, because it will take you a long way, the whole day, And also I noticed another thing really is about the bridges, Also, it is an important factor of your work. Can you talk a little bit about bridges? What does it mean to you?
Well, bridges is about bridging cultures. There's unfortunately, a lot of suffering now in the world. There are too many, because even one is too many, but there are too many conflicts. Bridges falling down, communication falling down, and walls that are being built rather than build bridges. And so I try to humbly, because I'm just an artist, I don't have the power that a president might have or a committee might have. I am just an artist, but I think that slowly, one little grain at a time, maybe I can make people reflect on the importance of creating these bridges. In fact, I have a sculpture called Building Bridges, and I like to design other bridges that I have because I think it's a way of bringing people together. It's very important. And this Building Bridges has been traveling throughout the past 4 years. It's now coming to the Gulf region. So I'm very excited about it. It's a sculpture. It's 6 hand gestures that represent certain emotions like love, hope, faith, friendship, help, and wisdom. I think that people, when they pass underneath these bridges, somehow they feel united and energized. And that's a wonderful thing to see.
See, the things you mentioned it's our values. It doesn't matter which religion or which nationality, all what you have mentioned, friendship, hope, this is our real values. And this is what some people suffer because some of these values is not their values. They inherited it. So when they come to us, we try to put it the right ranking that belongs to you. It is your own values, not somebody has mentioned it to you, Once you are in agreement with these values, once you know what is your priority in life, things change dramatically. So I am happy that you have touched on these because really this is, universal values.
Interesting, because yesterday I was with a young boy, the son of a diplomat, and we were talking about this sculpture called Building Bridges. And interestingly enough, the boy said to the father, Papa, we studied Lorenzo's sculpture in school.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I was I was so happy to hear that that they were studying this particular sculpture about and it was about that. It was about bridging cultures
and community, because it's year of community and family. So that's really goes hand in hand what we are trying to, make people aware of. And it is a really very nice idea to do it by art, so people relate to it more. And to know that it is taught in the school is even much better.
I'm very, very lucky. A few of my sculptures have made it into classrooms.
Okay.
And that is a great honor.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And also you are so much attached to education, not only in schools, but in general. And for example, I know you have been doing something for Qatar. It is a child and a book. Can you talk about it a little bit?
Well, actually, now the bridges are going there.
Okay.
They're going to Doha, and they're going to be there for, I think, 5-6 months. They will be there beginning of February for the Basel that they're doing in Doha, the art show, and then they will stay. And they're going to be in 21 High Street, Katara Village.
Okay.
And I have other sculptures there. But you wanted to know about the baby.
Yeah. I mean, because I know it's related to education and
yes, but the baby, it's not in Qatar. It's in Egypt.
Okay.
And it's in New Cairo. So it's in the center. It's in an area called Zed Park. And it's in the center of this new city that they're building, which is very beautiful because the idea is the baby, of course, the birth, right? But the sculpture represented a new humanity, a humanity, refreshed humanity, a humanity based on love and hope. And this baby, the shape of the sculpture is, there's a human pelvis, of course, female, and in it there is this baby. And the idea, if you see a female pelvis, the bone structure, from the back it looks like a butterfly.
True.
So it's very beautiful because the baby goes through this incredible catharsis and transformation from this insect, not very pretty, to a very beautiful one, which is the butterfly, and flies away. And a child starts his life like that and can turn into this beautiful creature, beautiful human being. And I wish that for humanity. So the pelvis could be Gaia, could be the earth. And in the hopes of our new, improved humanity for the future.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Because as you said, it starts with birth. And then we develop, like as a children, we play, we are very creative. And then all of a sudden we became very serious. And unless you really can have the child with you back again, it makes miracle. So that's what we encourage our audience, people, to listen to themselves, not to be too much restricted. You don't have to be perfect.
So I have two sculptures here that are about that. One is called Self-Empowerment, and this one called The Emotional Cradle. It's precisely about that. It's about how children, within a minute, they go from happiness to despair and back to happiness in an instant.
True.
It's amazing how they are able, they're just, because they have no filters, they're just,
True.
Their emotions flow freely and they are true. They are true beings. They have not learned how to regulate their emotions. Their emotions are filterless. In time, we unfortunately learn that. We learn that because, of course, we have to adapt to society. And at some times, society can be restrictive and you can't just cry and laugh out loud or be yourself, basically, all the time. You have to control yourself. The children don't have this control. And what does this cause? This causes that sometimes we cause bottlenecks. We cause these emotions that are bottled up within us and they don't flow freely. And then at some point that pressure goes and we lose control. Also, what it causes is that we hold on to emotions, especially negative ones, too long.
Yeah.
We should be able to somehow tap into that child that we had and say, you know what, I won't stand for this. I won't have this bad emotion. I want to be happy. Because anyway, as you know, we cannot change the past.
No.
The future is unknown.
But we can learn from the past.
We can learn, yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's, I think.
Absolutely, we have to learn.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing you mentioned, that we are stuck sometimes in our past. And that's what I think it helps us when we go to, let's say, specialists. They will help us to see the past and as an experience that we learn from, but we walk away from it.
Exactly.
With a positive, token.
Exactly.
Rather than just living it again and again and again. As you said, it is bottled in us and it affects our, emotions, our
yes,
well-being.
get rid of these negative thoughts.
Yeah.
I catch myself thinking a lot. So I have a sculpture called Hear and Listen.
Yeah.
And then there is, I want to make one about thoughts as well, and thinking that there's a difference, a slight difference in these two, which is when you're thinking, it's something you're focusing. When it's a thought, it's something that flows and goes away. And if you could see it as an analogy of you standing on the bank of a stream, of a river, and you see various leaves floating by in front of you. Some are pretty, some are not so pretty, and some are ugly. The moment you pick a leaf up, that you dedicated your thinking about that because you're feeling it, you're noticing it. And that's how, for me, that's how it is about negative and positive thoughts. If you were just to put it back down and see it flow away, you would forget about it.
True.
You didn't pay attention to it. It's there, see it, but then let it go, let it pass.
Yeah, I think that's a very good example that you can picture it, you can feel it, you can live it. Thank you for that thought. And also, you mentioned something when we were here the other day about AI.
Yes.
And, because now everybody's talking about AI, some people are thrilled about it, some people are scared about it. So, what is AI for you as a person, as a sculptor, and how do you use it?
Well, anything that is life-changing, and AI is life-changing, is scary because, you don't know how your life will change. So, unfortunately, you can think quite negatively about it. And again, this is like the leaf floating. I can think of only the negative things or try to think of the positive sides. So, positive sides are that a controlled AI could be very positive and is already proving to be very positive with the advance of science and medicine, for example. It can be incredible. It's also can be very useful for many other sectors, including arts, for example. The problem with AI, which are quite a few problems, but the problem with AI is I think it will be difficult to control. If we create something that's smarter than us, how can we control something that's smarter than us? And it will be smarter than us. So if the ants create us humans, would the ants then allow us to be? And would the humans, allow the ants to turn them off whenever the ants wanted to turn us off? No. We would probably eliminate the ants. So let's stay on the light side. The light side is how to use AI. I think it could be very exciting. The problem is when you substitute AI for your own knowledge, and a lot of young artists are starting to do that, and a lot of young people are starting to do that. Like before, for example, ChatGPT, which is an amazing tool, which we use now as a given. It's the word almost of God, you know? You ask ChatGPT everything. And we don't divulge the time into anymore into self-discovery or question anything anymore. We used to question things and look at different news and articles written. Now we just accept it as a given.
I think this is very dangerous.
Yeah.
We have launched a workshop called Psychology of AI, because AI is very useful. You have mentioned it. There is a positive side of it. But also, if you do not analyze it and if you don't have the experience and the knowledge to accept what it says, not everything AI said is true. I remember we were reading a book in our book group, and the book was very complicated. And once we read it, I would like to know how much I get out of that book. So I go to the AI, and when I go through chapter by chapter, I can find a lot of mistakes. Like if I don't have the background or the experience,
Correct.
I could not have spotted. If I take it as a face value, again, this is very dangerous,
Look, I asked the ChatGPT some things about myself, and they were incorrect.
Yeah.
And I know that they're incorrect because it's me.
Yeah.
But other people would not.
Yeah.
So if it's incorrect about me, it could be incorrect about many other things. Of course, it's learning. And there will be a moment where it will know a lot more than anybody else, and it'll have its own consciousness, AGI, which is incredibly, can be very worrying.
Yeah. Again, I think the best thing is to know about AI and at the same time to both about critical thinking. So if you have developed the skills, then you are in a better position to take from it what really is needed.
Yes. I have used AI, but again, I've used it as a support tool.
Yeah.
I haven't used it to replace, which is very important. And I think, as I said before, the young generation should know how to do things first, and then go to AI to support or else the problem is that how can you judge if you're doing something wrong if you don't know about it?
Exactly.
And that's the danger of AI. But on the other hand, as I said during the art circle talk, I can just imagine what Leonardo da Vinci would do now with AI. He would
do miracles, extra
yes,
miracles.
he would do miracles.
Yeah.
It would be incredible to see him, how he would use it.
Also, I always wonder, as an artist, you have this creativity. And also, you have a lot of success. At the same time, you have a bigger success when you fail or you don't do whatever you wanted to do up to your standard, but you come back again,
Yes.
as a reborn. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience in that
A lot
field?
of people. Yesterday, we were talking about this in the car. We were talking about success. Look, I think an artist in general, our happiness is conditional happiness, which you probably obviously know. That conditional happiness is just based on single achievements, but then doesn't keep you happy because you need another achievement to be happy again, and then another achievement, and another achievement. And this is sad in a way because you're never satisfied. You always want more. But as an artist, it's almost a necessity. It's this paradox. It's a necessity never to be satisfied, never to be happy, so that you keep experimenting, exploring, and growing. People always ask me, which is your best sculpture? And I always say, my next sculpture. Because I always look at the sculptures and I say, I could have done a better job.
Yeah.
I could improve it. I could do this, I could do that. But I think in a way it's essential for an artist, not perhaps as a human being, but as an artist and as a professional, to never be satisfied. The problem with me is that because my art, it's who I am, that makes me never satisfied. So as a person, it's pretty difficult to be next to me because I have this trait of being conditionally happy.
Yeah. But you see, again, the good thing about it, without assessing you in mental toughness, I can see that you are mentally tough. Why I'm saying this? Because you see, no matter what, if you are satisfied or not satisfied, you keep going.
Yes.
That's the most important thing,
Yes. And since I was a kid.
Yeah. And this is really, really what we're trying,
Yes.
To make people aware of their ability.
Yeah.
They have this, sometimes you have to train it. Sometimes you have to go through the experience.
I've always had great willpower.
Yeah.
And I think this trait probably was instilled in me by my father.
Mm-hmm. And please tell us, who's your father?
He had a very tough upbringing, and he became a very successful...
And what is his name?
Anthony Quinn.
Yes.
Became a very successful Hollywood actor, really against all odds. If I were to explain where he came from and what he achieved, it would be very difficult to understand that. And also you have to think that back then politically, because he was born in Mexico, being a Mexican in America, in the US back then, was very difficult, very difficult. In fact, we know Hollywood is very political, and that penalized him. He was, he did incredible roles. Still today, he's one of the most loved actors in the world.
Till now, even the young generation, they know who he is.
Yes. And he was nominated several times for the Oscar, but he was not given the Oscar for supporting actor, yes, because a Mexican could get a supporting actor, but a Mexican cannot get a leading role Oscar. It's just how it was, Zorba the Greek. the screenplay got the Oscar, the supporting actors got the Oscar, the music got the Oscar, the director got the Oscar, and the lead role, who is Zorba the Greek, doesn't get the Oscar.
But you see, our generation, they just lived with him, and we admire him, and he was like a role model because, you know, whatever he does it almost perfect, I would not say. And, you know, you said...
So, I'm sorry to interrupt you. So we were talking about willpower.
Yes.
And he kept going. You know, that didn't stop him. He said, and he was never satisfied with himself. And he said that this little hungry kid, he would see himself in time. He did a beautiful autobiography called The Original Sin.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole autobiography is him in dialogue with his younger self, with his child self. And it's very interesting how this child self is very demanding and very strict with him and asking always for more and wanting always more. And he's saying, aren't you satisfied? Look what I've done. No, I am not. You can do more.
You see, you talk about power, willpower or, you know, strength, and you are born with it. But the good thing about it, even if you are not born with it, you can learn it, you know, through training. You can have that mental toughness. And I think this is a gift because you are gifted, but other people also can have that gift as well. So thank you very much. Enjoy talking to you like usual. And if you have to give one advice to our audience, what would it be?
Follow your dreams. Never give up on your dreams. Dreams come true.
Yeah, it's true. If you believe, it happens, you know?
Yes.
And thanks again, and wish you all the luck. And hopefully we'll see you again.
Thank you.
In our part of the world. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.